Hey guys, Sak here from sakitech, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. So I've been using this for a couple days now very heavily as my primary phone. And of course we have some positives, some negatives. We have gotten some feedback from you guys, so I'm going to talk about all that stuff. Now for me mostly it's been a positive experience, and I'm going to give you 5 reasons why, but also I want to talk about some of the negatives, especially the removal of the S Pen. That is something we do need to talk about, and a couple more things. So let's dive in and get started. The first thing I want to talk about, guys, before we dive in real quick, if you are planning to buy the Galaxy Z Fold 7, use the exclusive links below for sakitech viewers to unlock some serious perks. First, you get a free $50 Samsung credit which activates when you click the link. Get up to $150 storage upgrade credit. You can use that to double your storage for free or get a huge discount on the 1TB model. Get up to $1,000 in trading credits for your old Samsung device. And also get 30% off on Galaxy watches and buds. These are limited time exclusive offers available through the link below. The first thing I want to talk about is the fact that I'm completely sold on the outer display. The outer display in Fold 6, Fold 5, Fold 4 was a major pain point because it was narrow, it was restricted. There were a lot of things I couldn't get done on that small narrow display on the previous foldables, and I had to constantly unfold the device. But then I realized, wait a second, the unfolded version is a full tablet, which also was kind of making what I wanted to do a little bit hard. What I was really looking for was an actual full-sized candy bar style phone on the outside, and that's exactly what has happened. It is no longer narrow, it is no longer cramped. Typing, scrolling, social media, using any app feels completely natural and unrestricted. So that is a very important point, which is also the positive feedback I've gotten from many other people. And I want to bring that into my second point. What we're looking at here is a true 2-in-1 transformation. Like I said, the outer screen is a full phone, and the inner screen, because it is now even larger, an 8-inch display, is like having an iPad mini on the go. So I got my phone and I got a mini tablet all in one device, unlike the last time where I had the tablet but I did not have the full phone on the outside. I had a narrow restricted phone. So basically my flow right now is all day long, I don't even unfold the device. I just use the outer display as if it's a regular phone. Anything, phone calls, messages, social media, browsing various apps I use on a daily basis, even watching quick YouTube videos, news, stuff like that. But then at nighttime, I find myself more and more opening that display to maybe watch a movie, to maybe watch a longer YouTube video, or maybe watch a video and also do something else on the side, like maybe composing an email. All that stuff now feels more natural. I don't have to over unfold it. I only unfold it when I actually need a tablet experience. So that feels really, really good. And that's the second thing I like. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is that major thinness upgrade. When you put this phone next to a Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, it is about just as much thin. When you put it next to the Fold 6 or Fold 5 from last couple years, there's a massive difference. So folded thickness now matches any other standard phone, which was very, very important because that actually makes it feel like a real phone when closed, very easy to hold, handle, and pocket. If they simply made the outer display wider and the inner display larger, but they kept last year's thickness, this would not have been a complete product. So you can see the logic behind the whole process. The thinness brings further completion. Now, what about that punch hole cutout on the inner display? I'm a little bit bummed about that, but the good news is it is upgraded so it now feels like an actual selfie camera. When you are doing video conferencing or taking a selfie photo with that inner camera, it's actually going to look good. On the Fold 6, Fold 5, Fold 4, it was an under-display camera, which did have a futuristic effect, but the quality was lackluster. In fact, it was so bad, I never remember using it. And if it wasn't there, I would have been perfectly fine. But for sure, you need a selfie camera everywhere, so they put one in there. They decided to go with a punch hole to get the higher quality. Can I survive without it? Yes. If there was no selfie camera in there, I would have been fine. But they put it there. At least it's an upgrade from a quality perspective, and I can use it if I want. Again, much better than the under display camera, the 4 megapixel. But then again, some people, they like that better because it was more immersive to look at, and I'm not going to disagree with that. But because the first 3 points I mentioned are so amazing that this kind of little sacrifice means nothing to me. But now let's talk about the S Pen. Now that is a bigger sacrifice. Some people are not happy. They love the fact that they were able to unfold their device, and on the inside larger display, they had the capability to sketch, to take notes, and all that good stuff. It was an additional dimension of functionality not to be found on any other phone, and I'm talking about in relation to a larger display. So the S25, S24, S22, they have the S Pen, but the display is smaller. It is still useful. But on the Fold 6, as an example, the display was so large, with the S Pen, note-taking was a superior experience. So some people love that, and because it's not there anymore, they're not going to upgrade. But I do want to mention something very important. When I asked Samsung, why did you guys remove it? Obviously, partially they removed it because it was adding bulk to the phone. But the bigger reason they removed it, because they actually did some market research and they found out that most people, and I'm talking about 90+%, either don't have an S Pen or don't even use the one that they own. So based on that, they were willing to make the sacrifice. And as a result, they may actually be able to attract more customers. It's a business, so that's what they do. Am I happy about it? No. But like I said, the other things that I mentioned in the beginning, the bigger display, the thinness, the true 2-in-1 transformation, they are done so well that I'm willing to swallow the S Pen sacrifice. And as I told you in one of my previous videos, I did switch to the Fold 7 from the S25 Ultra. So that's the story with the S Pen. Now what about the battery and charging? Now I will let you know I was not able to fully test the battery because it has only been a couple days, but it does appear to comfortably last a full day. And despite the 25-watt wired charging, it does fully charge from a dead battery in just a little over an hour. So that is not causing me any stress so far. And I do like the fact that they kept the reverse wireless charging feature, so I can charge my buds on the back of the product on the go. And that's about it. But there's also one more thing I do like. This Fold 7 is the only phone right now running One UI 8.0. So it does have some exclusive software features that I'm really digging. Let me show you 2 of those features just so you understand what I'm talking about. So here's one of the features I really like. I'm going to go to my wallpaper, tap on wallpaper. I'm going to tap on change wallpapers. I'm just going to pick something over here. Let's pick this cat. Okay. I'm going to tap on done. So I have a cat wallpaper. I'm going to set that for the lock screen. So look at what happens. So right now, I can tap on this clock, and I have this option right here. You can see it's animated. It is shifting. So that's actually a clock that changes its shape based on the photo that you have. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me pick a different style so you can see a better example. Look at this. This is going to be perfect. Okay, so minimize it. And there we go. Now, I'm going to tap on done, and I'm going to get an amazing effect in the lock screen. So look at this. With the always on display, here's my always on display with the regular clock. When I wake it up with a tap, it changes the shape around the subject. Look at that. Beautiful and ultra smooth. This is a very nice effect. I think a lot of people are going to love this. So that's one thing you have. Another example of One UI 8. I'm going to go back over here. Let me just change the clock to something regular. I'm just going to pick a regular clock. I'm going to tap on done. Now look at what I can do. I'm going to go to the settings. I'm going to go over to lock screen and AOD. Go to always on display and tap on erase background. So now if I go outside, when I have the always on display, the background gets erased, only the subject appears. When I wake it up, the subject zooms out and the background comes into existence. Beautiful effect, and you can combine both effects, by the way. The shifting clock and the erased background can be combined if you want. So yeah, that's my input after a couple days of heavy use. But again, like I said, I'm completely sold on the outer display improvements. Bigger, wider. I now have a true 2-in-1 transformation. A fully functional phone and a fully functional mini tablet. The phone is extremely easy to handle and pocket like a regular phone because it is so thin. I would have been fine if there was no punch hole camera on the inner display, but it's there. The S Pen is a problem because I'm also one of those guys that actually uses this. But again, I'm gonna have to swallow that because everything else is so good. And like I said, the battery's fine and we have some exclusive features on the One UI 8 software. So that's about it, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below. For now, have a fantastic day.